I started as filling forms door to door, house to house for 2 rupees 50 paise up to 7 rupees.
Great ideas that are coming out, but they all die or fade out because they don't get the right opportunity, even don't given government support, or there are no investors who probably want to see them because
I would suggest to the youth of Goa is move out of your comfort zone, go to a Bangalore, go to a Pune, go to Mumbai, be out there for 2-3 years,
Right.
and then come back to our beautiful state.
Hi and welcome to the MOOC series. This is where we celebrate high achievers, the path breakers. And today we have with us Vivek Mendonsa. He is Director for Marketing with Lawrence & Mayo. Vivek, welcome to the MOOC series.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Vivek. First of all, thank you so much for coming to the series. The first question I have for you is, we've been actually talking about you. I've been discussing about with a friend of mine, Anand. What shaped Vivek to what he is today?
So Vivek has been working with the Lawrence Mayo Group since the last 32 years. Before that, I was like a student entrepreneur and did a lot of crazy things. I've been an entrepreneur from the age of 17.
Okay.
But with the group, and the group has basically two main activities. Everyone knows us only as opticians, but we are more than opticians. We are ophthalmic opticians where we process our own lenses and design our own frames. Plus, we have a very large engineering equipment and instrumentation division, which has got about 1,500 engineering products. And we're happy that 86% of our business goes to Government of India, and including the state of Goa.
Okay. So what have been in a personal life,
Yes.
whatever that you've been actually doing. So today, as we talk about, you've been a director and you've been working with Lawrence & Mayo for like over 3 decades, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
What really kept you going?
So I didn't start off as a director. I started off, I would say, as a errand boy, and really at the bottom. And that's the pedigree in our family, that you don't just celebrate or participate for 3 weeks or 3 months in a particular department. We do 3 years.
Okay.
So I was more than 9 years in Pune, learning different aspects of the business. And after completing 25 years in the ophthalmic optics business with a lot of achievements, successes, and a few failures, I was reassigned to our engineering business, for which I never knew anything about, not even the getting the correct spelling of engineering right. And it's been a huge learning exercise, working with about 78 fully qualified engineers. So we are doing things like drones, global positioning systems, to high-tech laboratory equipment for hospitals and other things like that. So it's a very vast spectrum.
So at the age of 17, and since the age of 17, you tried being an entrepreneur. You had multiple ventures, is what you mentioned, right?
Absolutely.
What happened?
So I think my mom and dad both told me that when you're in college, you have to immerse yourself completely in college. They didn't want me to try my hand at the family business or anything like that. And so any extracurricular activities, I was in Sydenham College, and the people who are doing dramatic society, our college has produced really a good talent in Bollywood and other sports and other things. I happened to join the Social Service League and worked with the legendary Nana Chudasaman, who was the sheriff of Mumbai or Bombay at that time.
Okay.
And it started where he was doing a huge campaign called Mumbai Maji Ladki and wanted some volunteers. So he challenged me if I could produce 10 volunteers in 2 days. And I got it was like the smart jeans you're wearing and white t-shirt. That was our uniform. So 10 boys came for the program, and he was thrilled about it. He knew I had passed his litmus test.
Okay.
And he said, Vivek, now I need 200 in the next 2 months' time.
Okay.
So I said, told the sheriff of Bombay, it will be done. And that's how we did a huge Mumbai Maji Ladki, where more than 7.5 lakh people attended 3 or 4 venues. So we were doing crowd control, giving water, managing the tickets, everything like that. It was a huge success.
Right.
And that's where I learned to gather groups at short notice, put people together. He was so grateful that he gave us a party in the CCI East launch for all the 200 volunteers.
Okay.
So I was lifted by the student body high in the air, because hostelites getting a 4-course meal in 1988-89 was a huge thing. And then subsequently Thrash Bags launched. And that was his pet project, small, medium, large and extra large plastic bags, which we see very prevalent.
Correct.
And the government of Maharashtra had said that they wanted the dry and wet garbage to be segregated. So that was another project he pushed me into. So I saw that was my first entrepreneurial venture.
And you never continued after that?
No, I continued. I continued for about 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
And then I graduated from college. Then I had to go to Pune to study more and things like that. So I used to take the orders on the phone, on the landline. And then after 15, 20 minutes, I used to go and deliver them also.
So what kept you going in this one company over 30 years? 30 years, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what really motivated you?
One is that there's a lot of excitement and passion with which what we do. We have teams at 3 levels, so we have a lot of young talent,
Right.
Between say 23, 24. Then we have another batch at 35 to 42, and then we have another batch of team members who are 50, 55 and above. So there is a lot of exchange of ideas. We participate also in a lot of events, activities, be it in school, colleges, events, other programs. So it's not just a boring dukandar type of job. You can utilize your brains, your talent.
Right.
And marketing didn't exist in our company till the year 2000. So our marketing department is 25 years young. And Amitav, my cousin brother, and myself put it together. He had just graduated from SP Jain Andheri. And we earlier, Lawrence didn't require any marketing. So we put it together, and we've done so many activities for various age groups, including for senior citizens.
Okay.
And that's what keeps the excitement going. And I think people who are employees who come from a 9 to 5:30 perspective, they find their job very boring. It's like a bank clerk, you keep on banging those same checks.
Sure.
That is also going out of date now.
Sure.
So people think we've got a 0.7% attrition rate.
Oh, wow.
So out of 870 employees, having a 0.7% attrition is, so people love what they do.
So, in these last 30 years, over 3 decades, you must have actually come across many people who worked under you, still work under you. So what is this key mantra of one is to keep these people holding there, and even probably what is that you do to add some value into their lives?
Right. So, to tell you the truth, a lot of our youngsters in India, after they get a degree, be it a BCom or MCom, BSc, or now an ITI degree or in computer application, they don't want to really study more or learn something more. They feel that that's enough, and now I should earn back all what my parents spent. We have 6 training centers in our company all across.
Okay.
And every team member goes through between 6 to could be as high as 14 programs in a year. So it could be customer service skills, social skills. Even when the social media turned out, a lot of our managers who are about 55, 60 years of age did not know how to use LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, how to align it with our business goals and other things like that. So I think a certain amount, we redefine Lawrence & as a learning and a motivation, L&M, learning and motivation company. Employees are there for so long that we've had the maximum of love marriages, again L&M.
Okay.
So it's a continuous university happening. And we introduced new products also in our company. So we were earlier the first mover advantage in civil engineering products. We brought in total stations, global positioning systems. Today, if your Google Maps is very accurate to the minute, it is thanks to the 2000 satellites above India. Government of India has put Gagan, which not many people know about. Earlier, we were using the Baidu channel, which was operated by the China government.
Chinese, yeah.
And we use Gagan. So a lot of our equipment, which we sell, total stations, scanners for the smart city projects, they talk to the satellite, pick up the data in fractions of seconds, and give you accurate location up to 2 centimeter accuracy. So exactly if an object is on the road, or the cars are going slow and things like that. So it's a very vast technology. We've redefined our business into the 5 elements.
Okay.
We're into air, water, earth, which is our soil, into drones, saving lives, saving not only human lives, animal lives, because we supply to over 1,200 hospitals across India, and they do a certain amount of exports also.
So you just mentioned that the marketing, I think you moved into marketing, 2000?
Yeah, we started our marketing department.
That's when you moved into the department.
Yes, that's right. Earlier I was purely into sales. Yes.
Okay, so you've been a salesperson and then you moved into marketing.
That's right.
So when you were not actually into sales, did you not feel that the marketing still becomes a very key aspect of any business. So, and when we say that, what is your take on the changes that has actually happened over a period of time in last 20 years into marketing? How do you see these changes?
So I have done a lot of maverick things in my life.
Okay.
And my first presentation to Vice Chancellor of Pune University was on flip charts. So taking a stationary triangle and putting printouts in it and actually flipping over before PowerPoint came in. So I've been so rudimentary based in marketing, and it was a detailed presentation of about 15-20 minutes to him about starting course of optometry with the Pune University. And he liked what I said and what my colleague Vijay Thoraj said. But he said, Vivek, your ideas are before its time, and it will take us 10 years to start this course in University of Pune. And I folded it up and I told him, sir, I'm a man in a hurry, I don't even have 10 minutes. So come to the advent of MBA colleges. MBA is Master in Business Administration. And a gentleman in Pune, Mr. Lokhande, taught me, he says, how can a student master anything unless he or she doesn't do business?
Correct.
So you can't learn MBA from a college. And actually my definition of MBA is a mop and bucket attitude, MBA. So actually going into the market, learning, unlearning. And every day I make at least 8 or 9 market visits myself.
Okay.
I don't like sitting in the office and just pushing emails and having face-to-face meetings. So that's where you really meet your prospects. And converting every prospect to the customer is what is the desired need of a salesperson. And there are modern tools now.
Yes.
So be it in your WhatsApp or your SMS, you can target people pin code wise, gender wise, different products for different ages. So a lot of marketing tools are coming out. Google regularly invites me for their seminars and programs, and we keep learning. I go to about 17 seminars in 1 year itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about tools, marketing tools, this rise of technology, that we all see today, and wherein anybody and everybody is actually using social media platforms to market. What is actually your take on this rise of technology, and has it been really helpful? What kind of tools do you use for effective marketing? See, I'm talking about effective marketing.
Right. So I think to all these new age entrepreneurs who have created these tools, they're giving them to you free of cost. Be it Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn to some extent, YouTube and stuff. But if you really want to get desired results, you have to go to performance marketing, where you have to spend a certain amount of money. Yes, you spend, I've seen a few people spend a lot of money on performance marketing but not getting the desired results. Ultimately, if you see it, Mr. Palikar, you get a list, a lead list. And you use all technology, but you will get a lead list of people who showed interest.
Correct.
And unless that comes into a one-to-one conversation where an agent or a sales provider has to pick up the phone and converse. So even if you do a chat bot, or someone human interface is there, because people will always have some questions.
Correct.
If I'm buying a particular, say, a food product or something for my health.
So I just want to ask you a question right before you continue. Is when you're talking about human interference in this, or probably there's a human touch that's required. Is it pretty prevalent in India, or it is actually worldwide?
No, it's only prevalent in India. The cost of talent, I've been lucky to be abroad 6 times in the last 2.5 months. A McDonald's employee earns about 65 to 70,000 rupees per month in McDonald's in Europe. Whereas in India, they earn about between 12, 15,000, 70,000. So there's a huge cost advantage to people in India and a huge cost to people in Europe and America. So still Indian companies or marketing organizations are using the human interface. But there creeps in an error that when you assign a task, will that really get done or not? That's where AI, machine learning, chatbots are all coming in, because everything can be programmed to the last minute and millisecond.
The T, they say.
Yes. But ultimately, see, when I use a CRM, a client relationship management or a customer relationship management software, a notification go to my team members, right? He or she receives it. But it's one of the 8 or 9 notifications. A call from me, a call from one of my key managers really adds again that human touch or element. And say, yes, sir, that's on my priority list, on my to-do list. I'll do it over action. Oh, I've already done it. I need to, that person was not available. So we can't really replace human beings with that, touch. It's all marketing tools will give you refined lists and refined processes, but that human element is required.
See, now, as I said, my question was, this human element is more prevalent in India, not abroad, not in most of the other countries. Maybe the trend will catch up in India over the time.
Yes.
Okay. So do you believe, or do you want to believe that AI would take up many jobs to come?
I would definitely agree it would, but nothing to really fear. Let me take you back to 1988 when computers were launched by the Indian Railways. I think few employees in north of India burnt 40 to 60 computers, and there was a massive. Today, Indian Railways is delivering more than 225,000 tickets, both in the e-form as well as home delivery and office delivery of tickets. So the same organization where the employees were against computerization has turned around completely and flipped over and is today case study in e-commerce of delivering a service and tickets. So the washing machine came out, but and the Sumit mixer came out, but still we have always have a paucity of time, right? So yes, AI agents will take up certain mundane and routine tasks, but the human intelligence would be required to redefine, to sort of reboot what they are supposed to do.
See, I think it's going to be more of necessity for humans to evolve, people to actually get into a next level of education. So there will be a time when we will actually discuss that the whole education system needs to be changed. एक time ऐसा था कि we were very happy, 10th कर लिया, 12th कर लिया, graduation हो गया. We kept moving. Today we talk about a different set of education. We're talking about tech. We are talking about skill-based education.
Absolutely.
I think that is what probably would come over a period of time wherein people will have to have expertise in AI.
Yes, true.
Correct.
But if you see during lockdown, everyone was, parents were pushing their children. They didn't want them to waste time, 1.5, 2 years of their life, and push them on to online education. And we see a complete shift back to the classrooms, back to the college, attendance, to actually interaction. Because it's not learning from the college professor or the teachers, it's from your peers, doing that masti, having those extracurricular activity, that painting competition, that elocution. That's the overall personality of every human being.
Exactly, because see, it's not just about going and sitting in a class or probably studying your course material. It's also about evolving yourself as a personality.
Absolutely.
I mean, that is what matters, because आपने बहुत कुछ पढ़ लिया होगा, but then if you do not even know in a room how to talk to somebody else or probably have a conversation, what's the point of that education that you're going to have?
Absolutely.
That is what we're talking about. Now, anyways, coming back to the interaction part of it, what is your take on this trend nowadays? I mean, of influencer marketing.
Oh, so I'm proud to be a husband of my wife, who's quite a big influencer.
Okay.
She's got about 75,000 people following on Instagram. She was in the events business for about 27, 28 years. And she morphed herself into an influencer where she was called to certain restaurants to cover them and post reels on Instagram. She's predominantly focused on Instagram. She did a few, I think, kidspreneur talk show for about 45 kids on YouTube. I think really a lot of MSME brands run India. Okay, a lot of the top corporate houses, they contribute a large percent of business. They are few and far in between. And not everyone can hire a Bollywood actor or actress.
Correct.
So I know of big food brands. I was in South Korea a few weeks ago, and an influencer was there with me, Hungry Eyes or something like that. And he actually on his Instagram gives out coupons for McDonald's and for KFC. And they actually measure it back, that if Mr. Shetty put this thing out on his Instagram feed, what is the response rate which we are getting? And they use a plethora of influencers, seeing your profile, seeing your past trend and things like that. And I think that is where the brands should move towards. We've been also using quite a few influencers in our branches across for our sunglasses, colored contact lenses, and we always welcome influencers. I think the influencer community is very humble well behaved. They know that they are moving towards the spotlight. Of course, government has already come out with certain rules and regulations where they have to declare that it's a sponsored reel or a sponsored post, and automatically I think rules and regulations will evolve over a period of time.
Definitely.
Yes.
So, when I've actually talked to you, I've been talking to you for the last 10-15 minutes, you come across to me as very highly energetic and, full of spirit. I just want to ask you, what does Dr. Vivek Mendonsa do when he's low, he's not at his best? How do you bounce back?
So, I have traveled to 269 towns and cities in India.
Okay.
On top of a bus, in a lorry, trains, planes, and everything like that. And really, we are both dual citizens. Even you are, Mr. Palikar. I am also dual citizen, where we are citizens of India and citizens of Bharat. So I have spent more time in Bharat, which is our rural part of India. And that basically keeps you always humble. I've been to also 96 international cities. So in a month of 30 days, 12 to 15 days traveling, I definitely get into a low where I want to eat Garkha Khana, be at home. And my wife and 2 kids want to step out. So I tell them, please step out. I don't want to cramp their style, but get me a small doggy bag when you come home. But just being at home and lowering the pace of my activity gives me, I think, is my way to reboot myself.
Okay, and see, nowadays, if you see, there is a huge trend. I mean, whereas in India as a country, we are moving towards this startups. The whole startup trend, the entrepreneurial.
Yes.
एक time पे हम बोलते थे यार क्या करना है अपने को business करना है. We didn't even know these terms at point of time. Today we talk about these startups and entrepreneurship. What would be your a few advices, a few tips you would like to talk about and give the young entrepreneurs who are just venturing, they're quitting their jobs or probably just starting their own venture, coming as a marketing expert to increase the productivity of their business? What are your tips?
So I really welcome the whole startup ecosystem. I've been part of TIE, which is Triumph Indus Entrepreneurs League, started in Silicon Valley, being a charter member. And, to see the ideas which are coming from the pit of their stomach or their heart or their mind is great.
Right.
Cut, copying, paste something in Europe and America and bringing it here doesn't really work. Let me tell you about a failed concept which worked in Europe but didn't work in India, where that, if you're traveling, say, from Panjim to going to Mapsa, there are apps where you could hitch a ride.
Correct.
But it didn't work at all in India. Right. It was great in Europe. People traveling huge distances, they would say, okay, this is my starting point, this is the ending point. There are umpteen number of problems which are there, which are not resolved. Yesterday I was on a bike wearing a helmet and I got a few calls. Okay, you put a Bluetooth, but today if you get a helmet which has got completely inbuilt Bluetooth, it becomes so much easier to take your calls without trying to shove a mobile phone. So there are so many problems which are there. My true inspiration is the Jaipur foot, which way back in the early 80s an Indian doctor invented it, because the actual artificial limb was 240,000 then. Wow. And he was able to produce it of a equal quality or better quality for hardly 2,500-3,000 rupees. So it started, the first startup started with the Jaipur foot, the artificial limb. So 1.47 billion people, there are enough of opportunities. Just find gaps in the market which are there, and there are a lot of people today in the bank. How much interest you're getting? 6%, 7%. If your startup works, so you as an investor, you can get really 2x, 3x, 5x of the return. So a lot of business women, businessmen, industrialists are putting their money behind startups.
But don't you think a lot of startups are actually dying because, especially in the lower, smaller states or smaller cities or the backward regions, there could be great ideas that are coming out, but they all die or fade out because they don't get the right opportunity, don't even government support, or there are no investors who probably want to see them. Because see, a lot of times, even from Goa, we talk to a lot of people, and most of the times we do hear that, we wouldn't mind if you were based out of Hyderabad, we wouldn't mind if you're based out of another place, but for them to move out, get uprooted and move somewhere else, again that's a cost. And then you still hear that aapka profitable abhi filhal nahi hai. So these are the issues that even small town startups do face. though we are moving towards the startup culture.
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to just understand, that getting a funding is still a far off story.
Right.
It's about first getting the business out there, getting your MVP out there, and raising that business to a next level.
So first you should be able to put in your own money. Even my trash bag business, I invested my own money. I did not take it. May I borrow little from my parents?
Right.
And unless you have that sweat equity and put in that money. But I want to share the story of the beardo. You're sporting a beard and so am I.
Yeah.
And Dr. Anurag, who invested in beardo way back,
Yes.
he's Ahmedabad based.
Yes.
And he told the founder of beardo that you meet me in Ahmedabad at so-and-so day. This was about 8 or 10 years ago. And that person was in, I think in Uttar Pradesh or some other part. But he traveled overnight to reach, and he was there at 11:30 in his office. And seeing the product, today Beardo's got about 12, 14 different creams and different oils and things for your beard. And he's done well and definitely is, breaking even and doing well. So there has to be a genuine or passion.
Yes.
Unless you're crazy about your product. Everyone talks about McDonald's, but did you know that when the founder Ray Kroc was 88 years old, he got divorced from his wife?
Yes.
Because he was putting his hands in dustbin, and his wife, who was 85, divorced him because he was more in love with his brand and product and company than his old wife. So unless there's a genuine, then only you can survey. Otherwise you get easily distracted. And here in India, we are not celebrating, Mr. Palekar, failure.
I agree.
We are not celebrating. In America and in Thai, we celebrate failure. So what if you screwed up or, something went wrong? Have a failure party, recover, and after a few days, get back on the track.
I think that's the trend we really need to start. Because again, coming from that very secure and let's be in the comfort zone. क्यों करना है business? नौकरी कर ले, 30-40 हज़ार आ जाएंगे. That is the mindset. Even I'm talking about, even in Goa, the first thing that we probably any family would look at is government job.
You're right, absolutely.
Government job dekh le. See, it has to also start from the charity begins at home. There has to be first education given to the parents that there is something beyond a job. There is something beyond government jobs.
Yes.
Take risks, go ahead. And again, we need to create that mindset right in the beginning. See, as I said just 5 minutes back, I said our education system also needs to change. We have to move towards letting people know that, okay, I've tried, I've taken the risk, I failed, that's fine. Right. But I'm going to try it again. And this is my scar that I'm wearing,
Take for example, in the lenses which I'm wearing of Columbia Resi, it's an American company. They failed 38 times. And when they had a press conference, the scientists had not put even a name to the brand. And they looked at each other, and the press asked, what is the name of the brand? And they said Columbia Resi 39. It was the 39th time they succeeded. That was not the formula of the Resi. It was just the 38 failed attempts they put in for that. So I would suggest to the youth of Goa is move out of your comfort zone, go to a Bangalore, go to a Pune, go to Mumbai, be out there for 2-3 years, and then come back to our beautiful state. We've got 6-7 cities here, and try your hand over here. But exposure outside the state definitely adds a lot of value.
This is going to be my last question, and before that, I have this thought. I always been thinking about this. I always believe that before you get into any venture of your own,
yes,
it's very important to at least do a job for a few years, because it's exactly where you learn, and you learn, probably at some another place, and there is a scope for making mistakes, because then there is always this company which is set, ready to take risk.
Yes.
अगर कुछ होता है, ऊंच नीच हो जाती है, तो फिर भी manage हो जाता है, because they were huge team, they have bank balance, there is everything is there. I mean, that is what I believe.
Right.
कि थोड़ा जाके बाहर risk ले लो, पहले देखो, and then come back and apply the same thing to your business.
True.
Do you believe the same?
I totally believe that, Mr. Palekar. I started as filling forms door to door, house to house, for 2 rupees 50 paise up to 7 rupees. So I worked on insurance forms, banking forms, Rasna cold drinks, Orke curtains, Apollo tires. My first thing in Apollo tires I must share with you was in the heart of the automobile market in Mumbai. And the Sardar who was running that automobile shop, I reached at his place at 11:30. He didn't give me my interview till about 4 o'clock in the evening.
Wow.
And my first task was to arrange 15 of his tires on either side of his shop outside, and my all clothes were completely blackened. And I was answering his phones and being his receptionist for about 3-4 hours and taking chits and money.
Wow.
And then he gave me a cup of tea at 4 o'clock and we started our interview, which finished in 25 minutes. So I was willing to invest that whole day because it was in my list. I had to cover that particular automobile shop, but I was not given a time limit. They told me do these things. I could not come back to my boss and tell him it was not done. So he was very happy. I got the interview, complete 25-minute interview, completely finished. But he never knew I invested so much time. So you have to first surrender. First you have to sacrifice yourself.
But do you see that happening nowadays?
Yeah, because
With
parents are
current generation.
Yeah,
everything has come so easy right now.
Yes, current parents are mollycoddling their children too much. You have to drop them in the ocean, and they will learn to swim, cycle on their own, and they will learn absolutely on their own.
Right.
My parents did that, and we have to do it.
Yeah, I think all of us have actually gone through it. But now, if you look at it, it's a very different scenario. It's a very different. Everything has to be easy.
Right.
More money, but less efforts is what the whole mantra today is. Anyway, so saying that, anything you would want to pass on to our viewers, any message?
No, I've been enjoying all your series of 18 interviews so far on Instagram.
Thank you.
I saw there was a predominantly only good-looking women there. So I said, "Mera number kab aayega?" Thanks for calling me.
Yeah,
and I really enjoyed it.
Welcome. Thank you so much. Before we leave, we have a token of Moog for you.
Thank you.
Okay, it's right here. Thank you so much, Vivek. This is
Thank you, Mr. Palekar. Thank you.
From our side.
Right.
I'm going to help you keep it back.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, that was a great conversation with Dr. Vivek Mendonsa, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you in the next episode with somebody amazing once again. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All the best. Thank you.